All right, we're here with Commissioner Vincent Williams, County Commissioner for the city of Brunswick, Georgia. He supports the initiative of Guns Down, Life Matters, October 2nd, 2021 at Selden Park. Commissioner Williams, tell us the rate of gun violence and gang activity happening in Brunswick right now. How does that impact the community?
Well, it's phenomenal that you ask that question, because a lot of the gang violence and a lot of the gun violence that we see in the city of Brunswick is normally and most of the time black on black type crimes. We need to make sure that we understand and that we get our people to understand that we can't continue to do this. It matters. Every child, every individual's life matters, and we've got to stop the violence. So come on out on Saturday, October the 2nd, from 12 to 5 p.m. out at Selden Park. We're going to be there. We're going to have some life-changing information for those of you that will come. We just want to make sure that we stop the violence in Brunswick and Glenn County.
Most people feel like the Ahmaud Arbery case is probably the only aspect of violence that happens in Brunswick on a day-to-day basis, and it could gain national attention. But Brunswick has become, well, let's say, a portion of the hub for gun violence as well. There's a lot of people, it's several people who have actually experienced gun violence in Brunswick. Tell us a little bit about behind the scenes, what the news don't hear.
Well, there's a lot of things that are happening in our city that a lot of people don't know about. There have been several shootings, several young lives taken. As a matter of fact, a young lady sitting in a parking lot, sitting in her car, minding her own business, shot and killed due to gun violence. Things like that. I work in the funeral business, so I see a lot of it firsthand. And it's tragic when a family member, and I tell them it's a very surreal thing when you have to close a casket on your son or your daughter. So we want to make sure that we inform and that we educate folks about gun violence in our city.
You just said a mouthful when you're working at a funeral home. What is that experience like when you're closing the casket, preparing the body of a young person under the age of 25? Wow.
It's kind of crazy that you say that. I got a case even this week that I'm going to be funeralizing this coming weekend, and it's tragic. Young lady, shot in the head, and because of some foolishness. So at the end of the day, that mother, that father, those siblings all have to go through that experience of closing the casket on their loved one for the very last time. And she leaves children behind, and that is so tragic. So those are the kind of things that people don't see a lot of times, and it doesn't really affect you till it happens to your family. And trust me, with the number of guns that are in the streets, it could easily happen to your family. It could happen to my family. I've had it happen in my family. But again, we've got to make sure that we do what we need to do to educate our community to stop the violence.
Most gangs are recognized as Bloods, Crips, Gangster Disciples, Vice Lords. But Brunswick has a different level of gang activity, not so much where they're Crips or Blood. Give us an explanation of what that picture looks like and how we as community leaders can turn that phase around.
I think what we see a lot of in our communities is, I guess what they call the 912s versus the 404s or the 305s, and the people that have commuted to this area from Miami to people that are in this area, that grew up in this area. And it's all about the 404s, the 912s, or whatever the numbers are, whatever the gangs are. But again, we all come from the same community. We all are part of the same community, and we've got to learn how to live together and to be together and live in harmony. And some young men and some young ladies, they join gangs just to be accepted by somebody. So we got to embrace them as a community and let them know that, hey, they don't have to be a part of a gang to be accepted in the city of Brunswick and the county of Glenn.
Last but not least, the city of Brunswick, the county of Glenn, you and your seat as commissioner, you're getting very ready to present a very prestige award to the Guns Down, Life Matters initiative for bringing this to your city and bringing awareness to that. Tell us about that, and what does that mean to you in your position of service?
Well, it's a very special award. We don't give this to a lot of people. Key to the city of Brunswick and our proclamations, we don't give that to everybody. I think that this initiative is something that is very important, and that's why I've gotten behind it. That's why I'm pushing to make sure that we be able to present you all the Key to the City on that day, on October the 2nd at Selden Park. We'll be there from noon to 5 p.m. Looking forward to seeing everybody there. So that's what we're going to do. It's something that's very prestigious. Like I said, we don't give it to everybody, but we believe that in this initiative, and we believe that gun down, life matters, is very important to our city.
Last but not least, you are an elected official, also running for mayor of the city of Brunswick. The community is looking for an effort where they're not looking for someone sitting behind a desk, but they're looking for someone who's going to be out in the trenches, touching kids like the ones behind you, touching kids in the community, being a part, being tangible to that community. How are you going to be tangible to that community in your position that you serve?
Well, as mayor and as commissioner, I'm always out in the streets. I'm always out and about. We'll continue to do that. Not only that, one of my initiatives as mayor is going to be once a month. I'm going to have an opportunity for citizens that want to spend time, want to take a moment to talk with me about whatever issues they want to talk about. We're going to set it up through our city clerk, where they'll be able to come down to City Hall. They can meet me there. You know, we spend 15, 20 minutes together, and we're going to do that for the whole day. So from about 8 to 5 p.m., we're going to be at City Hall once a month. Spend that time talking with community leaders, not only just community leaders, but anybody that wants to spend a moment and talk with the mayor about whatever their issues might be. That's what we're going to do. And you know, all you got to do is sign up with the city clerk, and we're going to make it happen for the city of Brunswick.
How can they sign up with the city clerk, and what do they need to do to support that initiative?
Well, what will happen, they can go down to City Hall, go to the city clerk, Ms. Naomi Atkinson, say, listen, I want to speak with Mayor Williams on whatever, you know, and the date will be set. If it's a Tuesday, that'll be the first Tuesday of the month, or whatever the date is. We hadn't decided all of that yet, but whatever that date is, we'll set that date. They'll come in, they'll sign up, and then I'll be there to talk with them about whatever their issues are. And I'm not going to try to brush people off, you know, give them 5 minutes. We're going to try to give at least 15 minutes to kind of talk, because, you know, somebody else may want to come on in, but we want to try to make sure that we get the information and then get something done about the issue that people come and bring to us.
Outside of the initiative of Guns Down, Life Matter, does Brunswick, the city of Brunswick, the county of Glenn, have a gang task force initiative in place going forward in 2022? And what does that look like to the community?
At one point, we had a collaborative effort with the county, with our drug units and gang units, but at this particular point in time, because of some issues that happened internally, that kind of went by the wayside. I know that our police chief, Chief Jones, is doing an excellent job and is trying to do everything he can and everything that's possible, and we're going to support him 100%. Myself, and I believe the whole commission will support him in whatever efforts that he comes forward with. I'm not in law enforcement, so I wouldn't know how to do all the initiatives, but guess what? We'll support 100% any initiative that will help our young people get back to doing the things that they need to do and not the things that they're doing in the streets today. One of the things that I've been looking at real seriously is our recreational programs. At one time, the city of Brunswick had 8 to 10, 15 baseball teams. Now we only have about 8 to 10 kids participating in baseball. So we've got to get back to those kinds of things so that our young people will have things to do rather than, you know, shoot and loot and do all the things that they accuse us of doing.
Thank you, Mr. Williams, for your time. We appreciate you. Thank you for being on Game Changers TV, and we look forward to seeing your service to the community, not only now, but as mayor of the city of Brunswick.
Thank you.